What is up, YouTube? So today we're going to be doing the Power Rangers Operation Overdrive full team, considering the fact that Operation Overdrive is considered quote unquote one of the worst Power Ranger seasons ever. Their character stories really don't even have that much to go off of. Literally, most of them are pretty basic, and I feel like their stories don't really have that much of depth. So that's why like, such as with the other full teams I have done with like Dino Thunder. Dino Thunder does have depth, but it wasn't like super depth like in SPD. Also, I did Ninja Steel full team, I think. I think I did Brody by himself, then I did the rest of them. I should have just done Ninja Steel in one big video. But anyway, um I feel like the Operation Overdrive team's backstories aren't that unique. They're pretty much self-centered or pretty much self-stood. So let's just get into the Red Operation Overdrive Ranger. So the Red Operation Overdrive name, his name is Mac. Um, and he's not human. Well, at the start of the season, he isn't human. So Mac was a robot created by Andrew Hartford because Hartford never had a son or any type of kid. So Andrew Hartford had created Mac as a way to have a kid, and he instilled all these memories within Mac to make him seem like he had a normal childhood, when really Mac was just a robot the whole time, and Andrew Hartford never told him this until Mac had found out that he was one. During this time of growing up, Mac always felt like he had the sense of adventure. Like he always wanted to go on grand adventures. He basically wanted to be Indiana Jones, but he never could because his father would normally do that stuff. It was only until his father initiated the Power Ranger Operation Overdrive team where Mac finally had a chance, but he didn't do it because for all the candidates he picked, Mac's father decided that he wanted to become Red Ranger, and right when he was about to morph, the henchman for the season ended up almost taking out Mac's father. So Mac grabbed the morpher and he turned himself into the Red Operation Overdrive Ranger. This would be Mac's first morph sequence, and this would also be Mac's grand adventure to go on many adventures along with his team in order to stop the villains of the season, which were, I don't even know their names, bro. Like, yeah, that basically Mac is an android, and he became the Red Operation Overdrive Ranger when his father had dropped the morphin. Simple as that. And then later into the season, Mac would unlock the Red Sentry mode, I believe it's called, which was like the battleizer for the Red Ranger. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much all there was to Mac's story. He was an android. Oh, and at the end of the season, Mac became human because apparently his circuits got fried. But the dang, Operation Overdrive names are just so easy to forget. But the guy with the crown, he was able to turn Mac human, and that's pretty much all there is to Mac's story. He was a robot. He was a robot that always wanted an adventure. He didn't know he was a robot until until his head got separated from his body, legitimately, and then he became the Red Ranger, and then he got a battleizer, and then he became human at the end after seemingly being destroyed. So now let's head into the Black Operation Overdrive Ranger. So we finished Mac. Now we're gonna head into Will Aston, the Black Operation Overdrive Ranger. So basically, Will was a master thief. He was a fantastic thief, and he would steal. He was a thief to he was a thief to the end. He wouldn't. He just stole, but he was also a very skilled fighter, I must say, comparing how to other Rangers fought. He knew how to dish out the hands. Um, he knew what he was doing on the field. He was very good hands-on experience, and he was just fire. I honestly liked him as a Black Ranger. So the way his Ranger story went is he stole something from, so basically an employer who was Andrew Hartford secretly gave him a job to steal some mystical diamond or some type of diamond. And when Mill was able to get the diamond, it was actually a message from Andrew Hartford saying, "Your skills are impressive. I want to recruit you for an assignment or for something like that." So when Will and the others had met Andrew Hartford, who told them that he wanted them to become Power Rangers, Will was like, "Hell no, I don't do teammates. I'm by myself. I'm a loner." But when he became a Power Ranger and got his powers, which is like supervision, he decided, you know what, I might as well stick around. This could be fun, and who knows, maybe the reward might be something great. Basically, all Will was a guy who wanted the award, but the reward at the end of the day. But he started to learn how to work with a team, and at the end of the season, he learned that there's a difference between working with people and working against people. So he decided to find some organization, and I actually have a theory video for that soon, which will come soon. But that is Will's story. Will was a thief. He turned into a Power Ranger, and he learned the values of teamwork and learning how to not always be alone, and you always need help. And yeah, he got recruited for being a thief. Don't thief though, kid. Now we got our boy Dax, apparently one of the most hated Rangers in the franchise, according to people. I can't personally see why, but everybody's entitled to their own opinions. But anyway, Dax was a stunt double for Hollywood, very much overseen by Hollywood directors. He really didn't want to be a stunt double. He actually wanted to be an actor, but he always got pushed around because he was a stunt double and nobody really gave a damn about him because he does stunts. But luckily, Andrew Hartford had seen Dax and decided to recruit Dax for his Ranger team. Dax wanted to join, but him being out of the four that were selected, he was pretty much the only one who wanted to do it because he was like, hey, maybe I can turn this into a movie, or maybe I can finally get some type of glory. But that's why Dax wanted to do it, and his superpower was the ability to jump. He can jump high distances. That's pretty much it. And that's pretty much it for Dax's story. At the end of the season, he decided he wanted to become a director now. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Dax was a unutilized stunt double. He got recruited by Andrew Hartford. Hartford gave him the power of super jump. He became the Blue Operation Overdrive Ranger. And at the end of the season, he became a director. Quote unquote became a director. Alright, Operation Overdrive Yellow. Her story is basic, just like the rest of them. Ronnie was a pro NASCAR, well, a pro race car driver. She was very quick. She was very fast. She knew her way around a wheel. This would make her get recruited by Andrew Hartford to become the Operation Yellow Ranger, the Operation Overdrive Yellow Ranger. But at first, she was like, "This man is crazy. I really don't want to do this." But one day, she got her powers of super speed. She was like, "You know what? This might be fun." No, wait, no, that was the other girl. But she was like, "You know what? This might be worth it." And she became the Operation Overdrive Yellow Ranger. Her motives were pretty much to be the best on the team, even though sometimes it resulted her in making many mistakes. She is a very competitive person as well, and at the end of the season, she just returned to her track. That's pretty much it. She was a race car driver turned into a Yellow Ranger because her skills behind the wheel were good. Alright, now we have the Operation Pink Overdrive Ranger. She was a college student, I believe, becoming a teacher, I believe. But then her intelligence got selected, but then Andrew Hartford found her, and she became selected to be a part of the team. She was very book smart, but not street smart, and she was like, "This ain't gonna be fun. What the hell am I doing? I might as well go back to university." But you know what? After fighting the henchmen of the season, she was like, "You know what? This might be fun after all," and her power was invisibility. And that's pretty much all there is to her. At the end of the season, I believe she became a teacher. I have no idea. Um, but yeah, that's all I got. That's it. She was a student and she became a ranger, and her power is invisibility. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about Taizon. Taizon is a alien from the planet Mercury, and I believe he had like a love interest. I believe so. He's Taizon is an alien from the planet Mercury, right? He's from the planet Mercury. And he has a fiancée named Vela. And during an accident where most of his team were killed in a collapsing cave by fear cats, Taizon tracked them down to Earth to find the fear cats. And but in his search, he got cut short by Motor, who confronted him and turned him into a monster. When Hartford realized that and the Rangers had to go against Taizon in his monster form, Hartford realized Taizon wasn't a villain and began to work with him to track down the total diamond after being and the Sentinel Knight used the jewels to revert Tython back to his native form. Although Tython was offered a spot on the team, he declined it because he had his own mission to tend to. But later on, he would become the Ranger of Silver, becoming the Mercury Ranger. But Ronnie was able to convince Tython to become a Ranger, and he did become the Mercury Ranger, and that's pretty much it. Tython had a wife, his team died, he tracked the people that killed his team to Earth, but Moto turned him into a villain, but he was able to be freed. Ronnie then convinced him to become the Silver Ranger. And that's it for the Operation Overdrive team.